I do want to make a comment about how your mom apologized. That is not a practice that I am used to experiencing as a culture. And what I mean by that is she's apologizing for something she, in retrospect, had absolutely nothing to do with. And I'm explaining to you what I mean by that. I think a lot of those teachings, the seen, not heard deal, I think that comes from intergenerational trauma within the Black community.
Yeah.
That stems from slavery. Because a lot of what we were exposed to was cultural suppression. We were exposed to educational barriers. So there was no way to communicate effectively because we just didn't have the education to be able to do that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of intimidation from several parties.
Yeah.
That were, you know, basically took a hand in our suppression. So a lot of things that we experience, or the teachings that we experience, we're trying to unlearn those.
Wow.
Because it's generational. Is the best way that I can describe it is intergenerational trauma.
Yeah.
And we're all working through it. We're all trying to navigate this space, and we're all trying to unlearn literally hundreds of years of teachings. And I commend your mother for apologizing for something she had absolutely nothing to do with. She was just doing what she was taught.
Yeah. Yeah.
And until we learn better, until we learn to, you know, break away from those teachings, we're going to continuously go down that path. So I applaud all of us for actively trying to break the cycle.
Yes.
It's not easy for us to take a step back and actually parent because we're so used to operating out of survival. We're so used to operating out of, I'm just trying to make it to the next day.
Yeah.
It's not easy sitting down and having circle time. It's not easy sitting down and explaining things. It's not easy sitting down and actually hearing your child out whenever you have bills to pay, whenever you have a 12-hour shift you need to go clock in for, you have dinner to cook, you have homework to complete, you know, you have parent-teacher conferences to schedule and sports to attend. It's not easy. So I commend all of us for breaking the chains on this generational curse that is upon us of communicating effectively, or the lack thereof.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah. That is so powerful. Wow. You about to have me tear up, Ashley. But yeah, I mean, it's just true. You know, everything that you said is true. And I think that is the reason why we want to have these discussions too, as parents, to let you know you're not going through it. You know, as family, we're not going through it by yourself. Mommy said that's good, Ms. Ashley. Yeah. That parents are not going through it, aunties, uncles, that you're not going through it by yourself. Kim said, listen, like she can relate like that. I would say that when I did the survey, that was the thing whenever that the parents said, how do we do it all? Like life is lifing is what they say. Like Ashton said, life is busy. You know, we have to slow down and speed up. And it was across the board, the survey from parents, different backgrounds, different economic status. But the thing that was the same is how do we handle the challenge as a parent was how do we handle everything when life is life and then I have this to do and I have that, you know, these things that are upon me to do, but then I have, you know, my child that definitely needs that time. Right? Like that is just like you said, that is for all of us. Marvin, Minister Marvin, any last words that you want to share?
I mean, that statement right there, that could start a whole other conversation in itself. But I mean, what I would say is you have to prioritize the time. Whenever the time presents itself, you have to step back in your own self and prioritize that moment. A lot of times in our hecticness, we can miss the moment. And so when your child is, they're upset or they're going through a moment, sometimes we have to breathe ourselves and look at them and think about how can this moment affect them. And so a lot of times we have to prioritize as parents. Man, I'm telling you, you see me in the car for a reason. We got ballet and jazz. We got track practice. So I'm sitting in the car. The light came on. Somebody popped up. Hey, I'm live. But we honestly, we have to prioritize the moment. So what we have to do is have enough peace inside of us. Our prayer life, we have to be patient enough and calm enough to see the moments, because that stress and that worry will get you to a point where you will miss it. So in the hustle of the day, that you have a time to drop a major seed, a major nugget in your child's life. And so I always say, if you can, when the time presents itself, prioritize the time. That thing will be there later. You can go to the grocery store after that. But when the moment presents itself, we need to be wise enough and have enough discernment to see the moment and speak and plant the seed when the moment presents itself.
Seize the moment.